the best unisex fragrances of all time. There are plenty of unisex fragrances. Sometimes you want to look for a fragrance that's not too feminine, too masculine, instead right down the middle. So, again, there are quite a few options, but I've narrowed it down to a few that I think are pretty good for most or all occasions, no matter who you might be. So I'm going to start with one that's pretty unintrusive, very agreeable to most people, and that is Voyage d'Hermès from, obviously, Hermès. So first of all, high quality French brand. You know, you can't really go wrong with it. This is a very light fragrance. You're gonna get some citrus notes, some green notes, kind of like a dewy beachside, very crisp and fresh summertime sort of fragrance. So this is also the eau de toilette, which makes it especially light. The thing about this is it's perfect for hot weather. I mean, take a look at this picture in the inside the card. You know, you're gonna be out experiencing the ocean mist, the bright blue sky. You know, this is a very refreshing fragrance, and even if it's 95 degrees outside or hotter, this is gonna cut through the heat. You're gonna feel refreshed. It's a cold, crisp fragrance, and again, it is unisex. Those citrus notes, those green notes, very unisex. Main thing that I have to say about this is that it's not super long lasting. It'll probably last you 3 hours. You know, maybe you can make it last 4 if you're really careful about it. But besides that, I mean, you could always reapply it, of course. But if you're just looking for something really fresh and light, just to immediately refresh yourself, this is a really good choice. Then, kind of in a similar vein, similarly refreshing, is Gentle Fluidity from Maison Francisque Jean. So this, again, another Parisian brand here, very high quality. The thing about this, this is one of my favorites. This is primarily a juniper berry fragrance, meaning it has a naturalness to it, kind of like you're out in a forest of pine trees and things like that. At the same time, it's kind of icy cold. I guess like you're walking through a winter forest or something, but this is definitely on the cold side. Again, very good for hot weather, humid weather especially. It really cuts through that humidity. This also has a little bit of nutmeg to give it a little spiciness, a little sense of personality. And this is stronger than Voyage d'Hermès. So Voyage d'Hermès is kind of like, I would wear that if I'm laying at the beach, right? I'm not really doing any physical activity, so it won't just wear off. This is a more intense light fragrance, I suppose. So it'll last longer in the heat, even if you're going about doing things, going for a jog or whatever. This has better staying power, better longevity. It is a little bit more expensive, but you do get what you pay for, especially from this brand. I mean, they've made tons of really, really high quality stuff. So again, this is really good if you really want something icy cold, because that, this is really, exactly that. Then, if you're looking for something completely the opposite, something very heavy, kind of sultry, mysterious, then you can go for the Back Color from Dior. So this is also one of my favorites, actually. This is, from the name you can guess, a very heavy tobacco fragrance. So, of course, not everyone likes tobacco fragrances, but if you do, you'll like this. It is the thing that I like about it, because some tobacco fragrances are too strong. They're too smoky, they're too, like, you just walked into a cloud of cigarette smoke, too much. This is very nicely balanced. This is like a finely crafted cigar sort of thing. Has some earthiness, it has the warmth of the smoke. It's very nicely balanced, moderate. It is a heavy fragrance. It's gonna last a really long time, probably 8 hours. At the same time, it's not gonna just clog your nostrils and give you a headache. Again, it is from Dior, so of course it's gonna be nicely balanced. And it's just a really luxurious fragrance, perfect for either cold weather or evening wear. It might be a little too much if it's too hot out, but you know, really good option if you want something that's more mysterious, more seductive, because it is definitely that smooth, heavy sort of fragrance. Then, another one that I recently tried is Guerlain's Iris Torréfié, which means roasted iris. So this is an iris fragrance, which at first seems quite similar to Dior Homme because of the iris note, but then it makes a departure and it becomes quite warm without losing the iris note. It has some leather, some musk mallow thrown in, and some amber to make it warm. This is the perfect blend of feminine and masculine notes. You have the, you know, more typically feminine floral notes of the iris, of course, but then you have the more masculine notes of the leather. So combining them, it's this really nice, just balanced sort of fragrance. And it has pretty good performance. You know, I would say moderate longevity, maybe 6 hours, good projection, and it's just very pleasant, especially if you like iris. I really like iris. I think it's a really just nice, unique floral note. This is a really good option. The last one that I have is kind of a moderate to light option. This is Fleur de Paul from Diptyque. So this is light, but not too light. It has, it's pretty crisp. It has some florals, it has some more vegetal notes. It actually has a carrot note, you know, so you know it's kind of crisp and crunchy almost. The thing about this, I think it's a pretty good unisex option because, you know, it's not too sweet, it's not too heavy, it's not too much of anything. It's actually very, very natural. I would say this reminds me of walking through a garden or walking through the park, you know, in some sort of natural environment. Because, again, most of the notes in this are either a plant or a flower or a vegetable, you know. So definitely a natural, slightly sweet, and also a little bit dry sort of fragrance. So it is refreshing without being icy cold. So, you know, you have this nice balance. This always reminds me of springtime, actually, you know, with the flowers and the grass and that sort of thing. So those are pretty much my main options, recommendations for unisex fragrances. If you have any opinions or anything to say about these fragrances, you can always leave those down in the comment section below. If you like the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.